this Dutch saying going, the beer is los.
The beer is los?
The beer is los. Yeah, which means like it's really happening right now. And that's a situation you're in, right? With all the success you're having. I have this list here because it's too much for me to, put in my mind. You achieved golden status in Holland. You had a #1 record here. France, Italy, Australia, Germany, Switzerland, platinum status in Belgium. And you didn't know that, but I have to congratulate you with your golden record in Canada.
Seriously?
40,000 records, man. Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, really good. Hey, and then, of course, the Beatport #1 with the Project T remix. And, of course, the entry in the DJ Mag, entering at 40. How big was that for you? That's amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy. Me and the team didn't expect it at all because, I remember the list from last year and like all the big names were in the list, and I remember when I heard I was entering at 4, I was like, oh no, it's not true, because we didn't do any promo, we didn't do like any advertisement.
Because there's a lot of people going like, okay, vote for me, this, that.
Yeah.
That wasn't going on with you.
Yeah, and I think we decided to not do it this year because we were thinking it's too early and it would be fucked up if we do a lot of promo and didn't enter the list,
That's
So
something you don't want.
So we were thinking, okay, you know what, in 2014 we're gonna do some promo and hopefully enter the list, and then suddenly we heard we entered this list at number 40, which is crazy, and neither me or the team expected it. It's crazy.
What I really like, one of the things I really like about you is the fact that you like really mention your team a lot, and it's and sometimes I hear you say like, okay, yeah, we entered this chart with this and that.
There's a whole. I'm the guy behind the productions, behind the shows, and behind the interviews. But there's a whole great team behind me working on my tours, my release schedule. But they're also filtering my mails and making sure I only receive the things which are really good. They every week they send me a list of the things which I need to do.
Yeah.
So I actually can start in time with stuff, and it's really great. They help me with everything. We have a great agency which is doing my shows worldwide.
Yeah.
We have my travel agency which is making sure my flights and everything is booked. We have my label A&R who I work with a lot, who gives me feedback on my tracks. As Jorn and Roger.
Yeah, Roger.
And Robert.
Yeah.
And I send them tracks, or I send them like 5 new things. They're like, okay, this one is okay. You can try to finish that. And the nice thing is they're completely honest. If I send them something, I'm like, oh, I really like this. They're like, not gonna work. Start something new. Then I trust them, and because of that, and because of the team, and because of everybody, I think we are right now in this position, and it's not only me.
Yeah. So how many people actually are involved right now in Martin Garrix?
I think in this side of the ocean, 30, 25. Yeah, it's really crazy.
It's amazing.
Because a lot of people don't see what's happening on the background. And then we have my US management, we have my US bookings agency, my US press agents, my US label. Because in every country we work with different people on my releases.
So in a way, it keeps you from going crazy, right?
Yeah.
In a way, it takes away a lot of the stress and everything.
Yeah.
On the other hand, it's a big responsibility because a lot of people are basically basing their professional lives on what you come up with.
Yeah, but it's kind of a trust. When you start to work with each other, you don't sign a contract, you start a relationship. And what's very important, I think, is to have a really great relationship, to keep contact with everybody, to know what everybody's doing, what everybody's plans are, to talk with everybody, to see different opinions, and try to get the best what's possible.
I have the feeling you're pretty, centered and relaxed. So, but on the other hand, nobody can prepare you for the monster that fame can be.
Yeah, that's just luck.
Yeah,
I think, and there, of course, there's a great team behind it, but it's luck with the track at the right moment, with the right people, the right hype, and that's something you can't say, okay, this is gonna be a hit. You never know if it's something gonna be a hit.
Hey, I saw you on a photo with Ariana Grande, the petite Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
You saw her at the EMAs.
Yeah.
So could you be a name dropper? Who are like the people we know you are about to work with or hang out with? Or?
I'm going in November or December. We're still checking for some free dates because I'm actually going for a studio session with Chesto.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, that's crazy because I started because of him, and
yeah.
he invited me to swing by in the studio and create something together. So right now we're checking when we both have like 5 or 6 days or a week free, and
fantastic.
we can lock ourselves up in
that's
the
really
studio.
Nice. And now we're speaking of Chesto. He's apart from being the guy who opened the door for so many people.
Yeah.
He's really open towards like young talents and helping
I think
people out.
I honestly think Thijs Chesto is one of the coolest guys in the whole scene because he is so supportive. He helps everybody. He helped Hardwell so much with the track 076, which was definitely one of Hardwell's highlights. And then that helped Hardwell with reaching a lot of other people. And then Hardwell had Spaceman and some other sick tracks. And then he actually really blew up. But Chesto helped him, and Chesto helped so many others, and that's what's making Chesto so cool,
And he's a very humble guy.
Yeah.
It's amazing with all the success he has. He's like,
Yeah, I met him for the first time on Skype, and we were talking. I was like, what the fuck? And then you just realize he's a normal person as well. And that's the coolest thing. I met so much people who I never met before, but I only knew them from television and from their tracks. And then when you start talking to them, they're turning out, of course, to be humans.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
Yeah. Who else have you been in contact with?
Hartwell a lot.
Yeah.
Nick Romero, Afrojack. I was with Calvin Harris at the EMAs. A lot
and guys like that. You I can imagine when you speak to Nicky Romero, who's a big inspiration, sound wise, must have been a big inspiration for you also.
Definitely.
You speak about like actually producing. What are the things you
not only producing, not only music. We speak about the daily stuff. With Calvin, we were talking about, we were actually talking about music, about animals, and we were predicting how it was going to be in the UK, and
he predicted.
He predicted number one.
Mm-hmm. And have you talked to him about what could happen in the US with animals?
No. Yeah, I spoke to him. What about getting a top line for the US? We're like, no, dude, the original is so strong, and I trust him. I don't know what's going to happen with animals in the US, but if it's not animals, I hope it's another track in the future.
So, in touch with Hardwell, going to work with Tiesto, some big names you're about to work with, which you cannot disclose.
Yeah.
As of yet, do you have like a vision of your future, and is that your personal vision which you share with your team, or is it a vision you discuss with your team and formulate then?
I have a really clear vision about what I want to do and what I don't want to do, how I want my video clips, how I want to be placed in the picture, how I want to be, how I want my profile to be.
I thought the video clip to animals was very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I liked it as well.
Yeah.
It's cool. It started kind of hype we didn't do it on purpose, but because of the masks in the clip, people are actually attending my shows with animal masks. It's cool, and we just released the Wizard video clip, which is having really great.
So now it's going to be a topless video, so you hope everybody will show up.
I hope so. Topless, maybe in my next clip, topless girls, and then at all the shows. No.
Yeah.
No, it's fun how you see something so small in the clip can have such a big influence worldwide. So it's really crazy.
And vision long term. What do you have? Or do you think you'll jinx it by speaking about it?
I hope I can just continue at what I'm doing right now. I want in the future I'd love to do an album, but right now I think it's too early. I want to keep on doing singles, and maybe in one or 2 years, or maybe earlier, just start working on an album. I have some side projects working. I also produce like the hip hop stuff, the pop stuff.
But you might do that under a different name than Martin Garrix, because Martin Garrix.
Martin Garrix is mainly a house, and I just did a trap version of Animals under Martin Garrix. But when I produce pop, I'm not gonna link the Martin Garrix name to that. I just like produced by Martin Garrix, my real name.
Yeah.
And just like the background guy, but to actually have something also happening with the music, which I don't release on the Martin Garrix, is something I really would like to do in my future.
Yeah.
And besides that, I'd love to do like stuff for movies or commercials or. But I don't know. We'll see what the future brings.
So ending the whole talk about life, what is the biggest surprise for you so far? What have you learned? Like a big thing you've learned? Like, okay, this is, what have you learned from your success so far? Maybe.
That's all about hard working, I think, and trusting in what you're doing. Because in the beginning, there were a lot of people like, "Oh, Martin, you're too young. Fuck off. It's not gonna work." And also at my soccer team, there I was DJing, and they were like, and then right now they're like, "Oh, fuck, dude, you're right." And I think that's the most important thing. If you believe in what you're doing, that's the most important thing. If you don't believe in what you're doing, you can give up. You don't have to put time and effort in it because it won't work.
No. So Animals is going all over the world. Actually, some DJs were saying, "Okay, this is Martin Garrix's first single, Animals," which is not completely true. You did some stuff before.
Yeah.
I have your discography here. Bunch of remixes. Actually, I see one earlier solo track was being released. Keygen.
Yeah. It's fun because a lot of people think Animals is my first track, but I did a shitload of other tracks before, and Animals is the first one which got like big for the bigger audience and not only the dance and electronic and house music fans. But yeah, I think 1.5 years ago I got signed to Spinning Records, and even before I got signed, I released some tracks like It's How It's Sleazy Stereo. I did a remix for a friend of mine.
Because a lot of people watching now would like to be signed by Spinning based on demos you sent. So because it's like a lot of times, they get so much stuff, so it's really difficult to to get the attention of an A&R.
I made a ghost production for a friend of mine, and the track got released on Spinning Records because he had some contacts over there, and the track became really big. But I was in the label copy, the contract, and. Then another friend who knows the guys from Spinning was like, "But you know who produced the track?" And then they're like, "No, it's Martin. He's 15, I think, at the time." And then they invited me at their office, and I played them a lot of stuff which hasn't been released, but they really liked it, and we kept in contact. I sent them some new stuff, and then Keygen was the first one they signed.
Okay, how did that go?
I just sent them, and they were like, "Yeah, this is great. We can do this as a first start." And from that point, we started with management, and we started like really building a profile and working on the relationship together, and started releasing tracks.
Because they went in full force, If you look at the video for Brother from Another Mother, for instance, it's like you really notice there's like a record label that really is into launching you.
BFM was the first track which got really big for me at that time. It was a track together with Julian Jordan.
Who was at your school? And
we actually started. I think we finished the track when we were at school. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, there's actually like some similarities between you, like the way you could.
It's funny because on the internet, sometimes there's tweets like. "Oh my God, can't believe you're so young," and then they attached a picture from Julian, his face, and it's also funny if you actually look up Martin Garrix on Google.
Yeah.
Then one of the first pictures you see is a picture from Julian Jordan.
Okay, all right, that's nice.
It's loading right now. This is Julian. It's like in the top row.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people think this is me, but this is Julian Jordan.
Yeah, it's like almost some kind of separated at birth situation going on there.
Some people didn't believe that we were not twins or something. But
so I see. Well, of course, Keygen. We were talking about. Then you did a remix for Roy Gates, Dutch producer.
Yeah, that was a track I was really proud of at the time, and I'm still am, because I kept the melody from the original intact, but I really kind of gave it more, the Martin Garrix feeling, and it was a more melodic track. But because my latest tracks, I'm also going to do some more melodic tracks again. But my latest tracks are more like with a big kick and more for the clubs. Yeah. This was more focused on the listeners. But I have a lot of tracks like that coming up again.
Yeah. So it's in a way less melody, more straight ahead, not too many bass changes, or what do you mean?
What I've done with my latest 3 tracks are like Animals, because Animals got so big. Dimitri Vegas and Mike asked me, hey, can you do a remix for us? I sent a friend Dorn as well.
Yeah.
In kind of with the style from Animals, so I kind of may build forward on the Animals thing. Then they'd like the audience would like to have a follow up, not in a remix way, but in an original way from Animals.
Yeah.
Which is Wizard, which is kind of the Animals feeling and not the same sound, but it's definitely a follow up. You can hear it. And after Wizard, I am gonna do. I've got 5-6 new tracks ready. I've got 2 completely different ones. One of them is with Dylan Francis, and I think I'm really curious how the audience will like it, because it's a big difference with the stuff I'm making right now.
Are there some things you can play?
Yeah, I can.
Hey, and tell me about in the meantime. Tell me about of course Julian Jordan, who's kind of pretty well known in his own right. Apart from the track you did before with him, Error 404, I haven't heard of Jay Hardway. No, but I haven't heard of Jay Hardway. So.
Jay Hardway is a really great friend of mine. He's a really great producer, and he's also a really humble person, and I really want to support him, and I take him on my tour with me as a support act. And
okay, that's cool.
So I really like to work with Jay, and we're gonna do my USA tour, and hopefully I can bring him. I already bring him to a lot of shows. Also for the Wizard video clip, I brought him to a lot of shows.
Super cool.
And then I pull him on stage. And
what's his real name?
Jopke Heijblom.
Jopke Heijblom.
Yes.
I can understand it shows for Jay Hardway. Yeah.
What I want to do as Martin Garrix in the future is not stick to one genre, or to one specific sound, because I received some tweets and some comments like, yeah, you just had success with Animals and now you're milking out the sound with the remix.
But do you really pay attention to things like that? Because there's always something, if you do something completely different, then you get people going like, oh, why didn't you do something that is similar, and I like the sound. There's always something. So
it's a bad habit. People from Spinning also say don't do it, and but I read almost every comment, and some comments are bullshit, like it's ghost producers. So I actually made the video to prove them wrong, and I'm live streaming some studio sessions. And, I'm actually right now recording every studio session I do. So if there's another Animals or another new track where people are like, yeah, you didn't produce it, I'll just post a 10-hour video online. But besides that, I'm
sorry, before you continue, because you can get like you must be sensitive in a way, because else you cannot be into music if you don't have any feelings, right?
Yeah.
So and you can get like 100 positive tweets and one that sucks, and it's the one that sucks that that lingers in your mind. So.
Yeah, and the Spinning team is like, dude, but you have like 100 other comments which are great.
Yeah.
And that's actually true, but I don't know. Every time I like, dude, be creative, and then I'm in the studio like trying to do something new, and that's, I think, also one of the reasons why I'm going to do a lot of different stuff right now. And then maybe there's a release who the people who are liking the Animals kind of sound, maybe they don't like this track, but I want to like reach to different people and finally create a fan base which is liking every Martin Garrix thing.
Yeah. But if you could describe like a certain Martin Garrix value, what would that be? Martin
Garrix sound?
Yeah.
Festival, like it really works in the clubs and at the festivals, and just with what I think it's really important is to give a feeling in the break. Also with Wizard, Jay and I spent so much time working on creating a melody which kind of touches you, and that's very important. What I don't like are like aggressive breaks, because in my eyes, a break really needs to be a break. And then the drop is completely CO2 guns and crazy. What I try to do in my tracks is to actually give a great melody. You can hear it in almost all my tracks. Also the Midnight Sun remix, the Stellar remix. I have a melody in the break which I really like. This is one of the melodies which I really like, and which is the highlight of the track, I think.
Yeah.
then it starts building up, and I like this drop, but it's not very unique. I think I really like the break because it has a feeling, you know. And what's important in tracks is not only like when you're playing at the club, that it's only like hitting people's face and.
Yeah, you're looking for a contrast, probably, right?
Yeah, like,
like
really great sweet breaks, and then the drop.
The heart and the booty, probably. Yeah. Hey, and were you going to a lot of festivals before you started producing? But because you produce
before I started producing.
Yeah, but you mean like when you produce things for drops for big floors and things like that, you must have like a visual image of that.
I didn't go a lot to festivals because I was not allowed.
No.
I'm still not allowed to go to a lot of festivals in the Netherlands.
Actually, I saw a tweet of you. You got the night access in a club.
Yesterday
right?
I was at the Chicago Social Club in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
They like the night. It's 18 plus or 21 plus, and this is already the 6th time they didn't let me in or something. But it's like in the street where we always go when I have a free night with some friends, and every time we try it again over there, but they deny. They're like, not gonna work.
Fantastic.
I need to wait.